In this episode of the Auto Riff, I go unscripted, and we will look at the Toyota Supra, and I will pretend like I know anything about Japanese cars. We go through this week, but kind of last week in automotive history. I reveal my dirty automotive secret, and I do a terrible job of explaining horsepower and torque. So sit back, throw that seatbelt on, and let's take a look at the Toyota Supra. So as I said in the intro, I will be going more off script. And by that meaning, I didn't write a script this week. I just took a bunch of notes and I'm just going to run through it and we're going to hope for the best. Okay, so the Toyota Supra, if you're in my age range, you probably know the car from a little game called Gran Turismo, which I started playing, it feels like, when I was like 8. So the Toyota Supra, the first 4 generations, which is the ones most people consider to be an actual Supra, not the one we have now, lasted from 1978 until 2002. The Supra name is actually derived from a Latin prefix meaning to surpass or go beyond. Very cool. So the Supra was actually based on the Celica, the second generation Celica, but the first generation Supra, which lasted from 1978 until 1981 under 2 different model or body names or whatever, is the A40 and 50. In Japan, it was called the Celica XX or XX, and it was called the Celica Supra in the US in the first generation. It was a slightly longer version of the Celica, which was itself Toyota's version of the Mustang, at least in the first generation. And if you squint and look from far away, it actually kind of looks like a Mustang. Not the Supra, the Celica does. The Celica, for which it was based on, was actually designed at Toyota's, and I'm going to mispronounce this, Calti Research Design Studio in California by a fella named David Stollery, probably also mispronounced. David Stollery was a former child actor that went on to study design at the Art Center College of Design and became an automobile designer for General Motors and then at Toyota. He was a child actor that played in a lot of Disney things, apparently, in the 50s, for the most part. So the first version of the Supra had a 2-liter inline-6 making 123 horsepower in Japan. And, of course, in the States, we got a 2.6-liter inline-6 making 110 horsepower. The interesting factoid about that engine, though, was Toyota's first engine with electronic fuel injection. So if you're Thank you so much for taking some time out of your week to listen to the Auto Riff. Quick plug in here to my dad for showing me the 1958 Power Wagon Town Wagon. If you haven't looked into that, it was part of the Power Wagon range that I never got into. It's a super cool looking, I guess kind of SUV of its day. I also want to apologize for the background sounds of me moving the mic. I'll work on that next time. If you have any comments, suggestions, or stories you'd like to share, please email me at theautoriff@gmail.com or follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. All sources used for the material will be in the description, as well as links to the show's social media. Thank you for listening again, everyone. Drive safe and have a great week.